have some trinkets and goodies to share with you tonight, and I'm looking forward to it. One of them is a Matryoshka doll of my sister's. I think I've shown you the ones that I have before, but my sister recently got the one that my mother gave to her. So I'm going to play with that. It's really beautiful, so I love it. And then I've got some little miniature things that I'm going to play with as well. And let's see. The first little thing I thought I'd show you is this little dragon. I got this when I was in Washington, and it's so tiny, but I love the little fierceness of this tiny dragon. And hopefully that will focus enough that you can see it. I think it will, yes. It's just a fun little guy, and I would sometimes move him around the workplace and have him appear in different places, sometimes on someone's pen or sometimes at someone's computer. Anyway, I love him. He's kind of made of rubber and just a little teeny guy. There was a very fun Japanese store in Seattle, and it had all kinds of these little tiny miniatures in it. And as you all know, I love miniatures, or miniatures, however you say it. So there's my little fierce dragon. And now I'm going to open up. Someone at work made, several women got together and made some terrariums. And they made me one because I wasn't able to be part of that event. So they created a little terrarium for me, which I thought was extremely sweet. And it's just a little glass bowl that has tiny little plants that will, of course, eventually outgrow it. But I just love little fairy gardens. So this, as you can see, I'm going to put some things in the terrarium, which I didn't say. And this is one of the things I just got it at Michael's. But I'll open that up and we can look at it closely. It's a little planter box with a trowel and a little fork and some little miniature seeds for planting. So I'm going to make it look like there's been a little fairy or gnome inside my terrarium that's been planting. I love little fairies and I love fairy gardens. And I went and looked at fairies, but for some reason I find it more magical when I can't see the actual fairy. Because when you see the fairy not moving, as a child that took the magic out of it for me, I wanted to imagine that fairy somewhere hidden inside of that little miniature world. So we'll just have everything but the fairy in that garden. And I'm going to hold that up for you to see. It's just so cute. It has little seeds. Oops, sorry. Let's see if I wiggle my hand, if I can get that to focus. I don't know if you can see the names on the seed packets, but each seed packet has a little name. Looks like it says daisy, peas, zinnia, corn, and what's hidden behind there? Tomatoes. How fun. And then there's a couple of little, I don't know what they are. They look more like red peppers, but maybe they're supposed to be tomatoes. And another little bowl of something there. Little tiny rocks, but I wonder if they're supposed to look like some kind of a food. Or maybe they're rocks. And it has this cute little trowel. Can you see that little tiny trowel in there? So cute. And that little tiny fork. So I'm going to place that under one of the plants in the terrarium. I left it at work. So that I can bring a little magic to the workplace. And I will make it look like some fairy's been gardening in that little terrarium fairy garden. So there's my little planter box, toolkit. Now I'm going to show you another little set of things I got. And I'll probably rake some of the soil. And stick in the shovel and the trowel and the rake. So again, it will look like the fairies have been hard at work. Or the gnomes. Pull out the little shovel first. It's actually a little metal shovel. It's got that painted edge. And a cute little handle. One Christmas many, many years ago, probably like 20, had Fimo dough and Sculpey clay. It's the same kind of thing where you can shape it and then bake it, and it hardens into plastic or acrylic. But anyway, I made little miniature things with it. And I think I made little Christmas ornaments and packages and things and made them into earrings, and it was really fun. But I don't always have the patience for that anymore. Well, or the time. So there's the little rake and the little tiny hoe. It's a little bit loose on its stem. Might have to glue that a little better. I'll hold that up so you can see it. It does have a little metal edge. The little rake teeth. I don't know how you would say that with the rake. But there it is. And there's the little hoe. It's got that edge so that you can get some weight into it and dig into the ground. I'll play with those for a moment. Right now, you can see the base of my microphone down here. I may see if I can crop that out, but I don't know if I can. We'll just rake this little pillow very gently. Would be nice to have some sand, wouldn't it? I always think of things that I would enjoy. I have to enjoy making the videos, and I know that most ASMR artists are all about taking suggestions and making the videos that everyone wants to see, but what I find is if it isn't something that I would enjoy doing, I just don't have as much interest in creating it, and it takes so much time as it is to produce for me. Because as we all know, I don't have the best equipment. But it would be fun to do a little rake in a Zen garden, wouldn't it? In fact, I think I've seen some little ASMR videos where they do that. But chances are I won't end up making that one. So we'll just pretend that as I rake here, I leave behind a wonderful trail of raked lines in sand. We'll set that aside. And one of the challenges with this Matryoshka doll is that it makes a loud squeaking noise when I pull it apart. So I'm going to try separating it and see if I can do it. I may have to cut out some of the loud squeaks, and I may just open up a few of my little sisters. And this particular doll, my mother brought back from Kiev, Ukraine. You can see her writing on the bottom. Looks like she did that in 1994. And look how beautiful the gold paint. And that beautiful face painted. The eyes, the red lips, and the rosy cheeks. Painting is just beautiful on these. I'll turn it around so you can see that gold metallic or gold leaf paint. I imagine it's just a metallic, but who knows? Beautiful pattern all the way around, and this is burned into the wood as part of the pattern up here. Hold that up so you can see it. And then some of it's painted. It's just beautiful. So let's see how many dolls are inside. Oh, that's what I was afraid of. There goes the first. So there's doll number 2. Let's see. Got to move these over. All right. And I wish I would have created this so that you could see them all together. Because that's the fun of it, isn't it? Seeing them all lined up. There's doll number 3. Get her lined up. Still so much beautiful detail, but obviously smaller, so there's not as much room for as much detail. This one just has a gold pattern up here painted on, and the rest is beautifully burned into the wood. My son got me a wood burning kit a few Christmases ago to play with, and I tried to make a wooden spoon and a couple blocks with it. I did not have the talent for it. But I would like to get back to making my little eggs. I think they were traditionally from the Ukraine as well. Of course, my version is very amateur. I'm not great at it, but I do enjoy making them. All right, so there's sister number 3. Let's see who's hiding inside. There's sister number 4. Let's see what she's got going on. She has a little more hair showing. You can see the hair there. I'm going to show you the This is the largest one next to it, so you can see kind of the difference that there's a painted veil on the front of that one, and this little gal's wrap reveals some of her hair. This color on my nails I actually looked up and bought online. If you've ever watched Wise Woman Whispers, I'm sure you've had a real treat because she does such wonderful, comforting videos. And she had this nail polish on one time, and I fell in love with it, so I had to get some myself. It's good for the fall season. All right, here comes sister number 5. There she is. Little sister. I'm glad these aren't as squeaky. Let's see, there she is. You can see the little flower burned into the bottom of her dress. Oh, that's so beautiful. I just think it's amazing what goes into making these little delicate dolls, because you look at the inside and it's been so carefully honed. Drummeled, I don't know how they do it. But there's her sweet little tiny face. I'm going to tap it so it focuses. There we go. Beautiful. All right. Sister number 6. Here she comes. Come on out. Looks like the base of that one is stuck in there. Let's see if I can get it to come out. Oh, shoot. Oh, there we go. Good. All right. Put that aside. Let's find where she lines up. There we go. I hope I didn't do that off camera. Her face is getting very tiny. I'll hold up her big sister's face so you can see the difference. Isn't that fun? I just think these are magnificent. There's something about the sound of wood that I love. All right. Here comes number 7. There she is. Here's little number 7. She's not focusing. Let's see if I can get her to focus. There she is. There she is. Still a sweet little flower on the back of her scarf. Look how tiny and detailed that face is next to my fingernail. That gives it a scale. Okay, I think we're on number 8. Number 8. Just little tiny face. Come on, there you are. There you are. Okay. Less room for detail, but still kind of amazing. Where are you? There she goes. Okay. Let's see if there's a number 9. Yep. There's a number 9. This just brings out the child in me. So I'm pretty sure that there would have been 10. Because usually they end with one that doesn't open, and this one still opens. Look at how teensy-tiny. Now I'll hold up the big face next to it. Where is she? There she is. There we go. Look at that. Such a little one. There she is. The camera's having trouble deciding where to focus. Let's see if I wiggle a little bit, if I can get it to focus. There we go. And this one opens up, so whoever the little tiniest one is got lost somewhere. Very sweet. All right. We'll put them back in. I'll do that a little quicker. And the next one. There we go. And where's the next one? I think it's this one. Yep. Next. I think I keep putting those together off camera. I'm sorry if I do. I look away because I have to find the next doll that it goes inside. All right. Getting bigger and bigger. This reminds me a little bit of many, many years ago. I went to the Smithsonian and they had some of you may have seen it in school, they had a little kind of movie short, science of going, I think it was times logarithms of 10 into the universe and seeing the galaxies circling. Kind of spiral and a nucleus of some star, as much as I understand it, which is very limited. And then it would zoom in closer and closer and closer until it went to this hand, and then it zoomed inside of the hand until it got into the zoom level of molecules and protons and neutrons and that circling effect that's the same as the galaxies. And it just blew my mind how the scale is different, but the concept and the patterning and the circling movement and the attraction and the repelling were the same. It's interesting. Did I get that right? I did not. There we go. That looks better. And the last one. You can see the wood inside. This one's much thicker, sturdier, but still such a smooth surface inside. If anyone knows what kind of wood these are made with, I'd love to know. There we go. Not going to tighten it all the way because I don't want it to squeak. We'll call this Anya and her sisters. I played Anya in one of Chekhov's plays when I was in graduate school for acting. She was the youngest of the sisters. And it's been so long I can't remember. I think it was Cherry Orchard. I don't think it was Three Sisters. These plays were interesting because he believed them to be comedies. And Stanislavski, who directed them and made them famous, did not direct them as comedies. He was known for his realism. And he was born into a family that had some money. I'm remembering the story correctly, but he loved acting, which wasn't terribly reputable. In many cultures, in many times, it's funny how it's true of Shakespeare's time too. But everyone loved to go to the theater, and Stanislavski's work is what led into our modern realism in film and on stage. And anyway, Stanislavski would would dress up as different people, different characters, and go into town and kind of try to understand what different classes, what was happening in the different class systems, and understand what was happening with people, real human behavior. And he would hide himself. I can't think of the word. It's not incognito, but disguise. Thank you. Disguise himself as different characters so that he could go into the town and study people, which I think is fascinating. And his own style changed. So in America, there were two schools of thought with Stanislavski because he himself changed some of his philosophy and approach to acting. But there are those who taught it the way he did in his earlier years, much more method. And then there are those who teach the Stanislavski method very differently, according to how he taught it more in his later years. That's me remembering from my teaching days, so I may have some of that information wrong. It just was kind of coming into my mind. Okay, I hope you have a wonderful night, and I hope that this was relaxing, and I am so glad that I got to spend some time with you tonight. And as always, thank you for stopping by.